Hello everyone, this is Lulu. Today I'm making Chinese braised beef with a daikon. This is a famous and cozy Cantonese dish. It's very similar as a Western beef stew. You throw the beef into a big pot with liquid, then cook it for 2 to 3 hours. Then you will add vegetables, cook until they are tender. So everything is at the right doneness at the same time. But today I'm going to share a quick version by using pressure cooker. Okay, let's take a look at all the ingredients and spices we need for this dish. 1 daikon radish. I will use a half of daikon radish since I have only 1 pound of well-marbled beef chuck. Rock sugar, soy sauce, Cantonese rice wine. You may substitute this with a Shaoxing cooking wine. Dried chilies, aged and preserved orange peel. You may substitute with a fresh orange peel if you like. Next ingredients is called zhuhou paste. This is a must-have for this dish, otherwise it's not authentic Cantonese beef and daikon stew. Here I have 3 star anise and some bay leaves. I also have garlic, onion, ginger, and scallions. Let's begin with preparing cutting and dicing meat, vegetables, and ingredients. I'll cut beef into 1 to 1.5 inch cube. Radish skin needs to be double peeled, otherwise it will have a slight bitterness in the stew. So I'm using a knife to shave off thick radish skin, then dice them into small cube. Dice onions into bigger chunks. It'll cook off later on. Slice ginger into a few pieces. Scallions only use white part. Use knife to break scallions, that way scallions easily to release aroma during cooking. Okay, preparation is done. Let's blanch the beef chuck. Put the beef in the big pot, adding few slices of ginger, scallions, 1 to 2 cups of Shaoxing cooking wine, then add enough cold water to cover the beef. It is essential to use cold water and uncover during this process, as it is more effective to remove larger particles and impurities from the meat. I'll bring the water to boil over medium to high heat, then I'll reduce to low to medium heat. Let it boil at least about 5 minutes. After boiled for 5 minutes, I'll remove the beef chunks, wash under the running water to remove any blood and impurities. Now we have clean beef, let's start cooking. 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil in pressure pot. We don't need to wait until oil gets hot. Add in zhuhou paste. So zhuhou paste is the fermented soybean sauce, similar to hoisin sauce, but with a different mix of seasoning. And it is primarily used in Cantonese-style braised dishes. It has this quite unique sweet taste. Add beef in. We're going to saute for 2 minutes. Let beef well coated with the zhuhou paste. After 2 minutes saute, add in dried chilies, bay leaves, and star anise. Rock sugar, soy sauce, Cantonese rice wine. You may substitute this with a Shaoxing cooking wine. Add warm or hot boiled water. Make sure the beef is fully submerged in the water. Let's not forget onions, garlic, and scallions. Most importantly, aged and preserved orange peel. Now I've got all spices in. I'll lock the lid and set on high pressure. Let it cook until pressure cooker starts to hiss. Then I will turn the heat to medium and set timer for another 30 minutes. 30 minutes is up, turn off the heat and let it stand until pressure releases naturally. Pressure is fully released. Unlock the lid. We'll remove garlic, cloves, bay leaves, and ginger, all the spices from the pot. Then I will transfer everything into a clay pot, add in daikon cubes, and let it cook for another 30 minutes. As someone who enjoys cooking and experimenting with different techniques and recipes, sometimes I do find myself struggling to balance my love for flavor meals with a busy schedule. I'm sure many of you can relate to this dilemma. We all have days where we simply just don't have the luxury of spending 2 to 3 hours slowly simmering a delicious stew in a clay pot or Dutch oven. I'm using this method to cook beef for about 80% of the way in pressure cooker, then transfer it to the clay pot. along with the vegetables to complete the cooking process. And this way, the cooking time is significantly reduced without compromising on the tenderness and the flavor of the meat. Plus, by cooking the vegetables in the Dutch oven or clay pot, they are infused with the flavors of the meat and the spices, resulting in a dish that is just as delicious as if it had been cooked for hours. While we may not always have the luxury of spending hours in the kitchen, there are still ways to create flavorful and satisfying meals. By utilizing a pressure cooker and a Dutch oven or a clay pot, we can save time without compromising on taste. Thank you for tuning in today's cooking channel video. I hope you find this recipe and cooking tips helpful and inspiring. Cooking is more than just following a recipe. It is an opportunity to experiment, learn, and create something delicious to share with the loved ones. And don't be afraid to put your own spin on things and make it your own. It is a creative process. The best dishes often come from adding a little bit of your own personal touch. So go ahead, be creative in the kitchen, enjoy the fruits of your labor. And if you have any questions or want to share your own tips and tricks, please feel free to leave me a comment below. I always love hearing from my viewers and learning from each other. Thank you again for watching and happy cooking. I will see you next time.